reason I play is to become a superhero. That's who I want to be. Why I play.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah, deadly. I don't care what anybody else thinks, or if they laugh at me. Because I'm not embarrassed of my dream. And in order to make it come true, I'm ready to fight the whole world fair and square.
Where is he? Let me... What?
Solid trading day today. But guess what? Guess what? I didn't enable my trade copier. So instead of it being a $8,700 day, it was just a $1,400 day on one account. Am I upset about it? Honestly, no. I'm happier that I caught today's trade. But we'll get into how I caught today's trade and really what my focus is now. Because the P&L's cool and all, don't get me wrong, but I think what I'm really focused on right now is ensuring that I truly do understand everything I've learned up to this point. For you guys that do not know, my biggest fear is figuring it out, understanding it, and then forgetting it all. And when I have those losing days like I did on Wednesday, that strikes a little bit of doubt into my mind. That's why I feel the need to have green almost every single day, or have more green than I have red, mainly due to my psychology. It just works best for me. So I'm not really petty about the fact that I didn't enable my trade copier. I'm more so glad that I'm able to come in to the markets every single day and replicate what I am doing, even though I do have losing days. Being able to, I guess, bounce back from those really solidifies to me that, hey, you know, I have an understanding of what price action is doing, and I can replicate my results, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters to me. But it's unfortunate that I didn't enable my trade copier. Yes! Ball right, dude. Ball right. That is settings. So today's P&L was only $1,400 on one account, but still. Anyway, let's get into how we caught today's trade. Because our initial bias coming into the trading day was long. We didn't end up getting filled on longs, so we had to react to what price action is doing. Ended up going short. I was waiting for specifically for macro and Q3 to open in order to look to take this short or any sort of reversal for the reason we're about to get into right now. So if we go right here, this was my daily outlook. I was looking at the, wait, what? Oh my goodness, I accidentally copied and pasted from, because I use the same template. Hold up. Okay, there we go. Okay. Was looking at both the hourly and the 15-minute time frame. This is how price action was looking on the hourly, and this is how it was looking on the 15-minute. So all I was really looking for initially was long to this low resistance liquidity, this buy side. I was looking for any sort of sequential SMT off of either 90-minute or even session cycle in order to take the long to the upside. Did we end up getting that? By the way, yes. But this was what I was looking for off of YM. I was looking for that cracking correlation between YM and NQ. Once again, this is how 90 minutes, or sorry, this is how the hourly looked. The reason why I am coming back to this is because it's going to be slightly important for why we're looking to take longs, mainly because I still believe we're within that overall higher time frame market maker model and wanted to continue to see that weekly open low high close as I did the other day when we were longing on Wednesday. This is how the weekly time frame is currently looking. Now remember, this is right now. Market open, this was a huge wick to the upside. Looked like it was about to have a form of doji, being that open low high close on the weekly time frame. I was looking to see, that's why I was looking to continue to long. Holy liquidation. I'll get into additional targets in a second once we get into the trade. But let's first get into the long. We ended up forming a sequential SMT with both YM and ES. Huge cracking correlation with YM. And we had that accumulation, manipulation, and distribution higher. So once we ended up having that, when I was looking for shorts, I was like, okay, I'm trading against lower time frame power of 3. However, we have no other draw on liquidity. We don't really have anything else. We have these highs we left from Tuesday. We could target up here. But apart from that, we don't have much, and we swept those out. Being an SMT with those highs on ES. So what can we really look to do? Really look to short. Look to take out that low resistance liquidity we ended up forming both here and the sell side we had here. So I'm like, okay, that's exactly what we're going to do. I ended up SMTing off those highs, formed a 1 minute change state delivery, as you guys seen in the recording, going into both macro and Q3. Perfect timing for when we were looking for that reversal. Execute on that change state delivery. We ended up forming this 5 minute opposing PD array. Of course, we were marking out the opposing PD arrays in order to see, hey, how could this trade, play against us? Had that 5 minute retrace for it. Was not looking to see this form as a breakaway, breaker, whatever you want to call it, breakaway fair value gap. Was looking to see displacement through it, obviously, or at least displacement below the CE of it. Did we end up getting that eventually? Yes. Once we ended up getting that displacement through the 50% the CE, that's when I scaled in an additional 2 contracts, stop at the high right here where we ended up forming SMT with ES, looking to target low resistance liquidity with additional targets right here, as we mentioned before. Why did I not end up targeting those? Bro, if you guys have been watching the trade recaps throughout the week, you would have seen after Tuesday, getting break even on that 10K trade, I was like, no, I'm moving forward for the next 2 weeks, just targeting LRL, there's low resistance liquidity, buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity, keeping it simple. If it's above 1 to 2.5 R, solid, just take profits there. If price provides the opportunity to target more, then guess what? I will journal that and we'll reflect on that moving forward. However, would this have been a solid day to target more? Potentially. I'm not going to say yes, mainly because I actually was still anticipating for price to SMT off of these lows, then continue that weekly open low high close. As you guys know, I wanted to see that this week. Looks like we're not going to end up forming that this week. That is completely fine. Still looking as we go into Q1 of 2026 to see all-time highs potentially taken, mainly because we do have a huge SMT forming with YM as well as ES. Going into Q4, this would have been a great hold, continuation or reversal. This would have been a great continuation hold, seeing that daily open high low, seeing this new low a day get formed, then close. But apart from that, that is today's trade. Once again, it was a great trade. I'm going to journal this, going to reflect upon this, because this was more of a reactive trade. Of course, it was against lower time frame power of 3. However, these are the trades that allow us to build that discretion, being able to see, okay, well, what else do we have to target? How are we going to react to price action? How are we going to react to what price action is showcasing to us in this moment, rather than staying married to the bias we want to see. Once again, it's unfortunate that, sure, I didn't enable the trade copier. Well, is it unfortunate? Not necessarily, because I'm the one that did not enable the trade copier, so I have nothing else or no one else to blame besides myself. Doesn't matter though. Moving forward, just enable the trade copier. Nothing crazy. But is it a break-even week? No. Actually, it would have been a profit week, week in profit, but didn't enable my trade copier. Whatever, dude. But apart from that, just excited to see how we move forward next week. Love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow. It's Friday. See you in Monday's trade recap. Peace, and have a nice day.